Hello, and welcome to Savings First, presented by FNBO. My name is Jeff Doms, and I'm a Director of Customer Experience at the bank. It is my job to talk to customers to find out what they like about FNBO, as well as their suggestions on how we can continue to improve. Now, delivering financial education is not my main job, but it is one of my favorite things to do. Because we're a bank, we know a thing or two about money, like how to save and spend it wisely. Understanding how to manage your finances will help you throughout your life. If you're responsible with your money and set smart goals for your future, you could have the money for the things you need, like a place to live, nutritious food, and supplies for school, as well as for the fun things you want, like video games, hanging out with friends, or buying a special gift for someone. Now, in order to save money, we have to first earn money. There are lots of ways to earn money, even if you don't have a regular job. Some ways that kids can earn money are by doing chores around the house for a parent or a grandparent or a neighbor, by babysitting, walking dogs, and mowing lawns, or when you receive money from friends or relatives for special events such as birthdays. Now let's take a look at some examples of how to put together a plan for earning money. Now let's say you get paid to walk your neighbor's dog. Your neighbor will pay you $10 an hour for 3 hours. You can do this for 3 Saturdays in June and 3 Saturdays in July. So at $10 an hour for 3 hours, that equals $30 a day. 3 days in June plus 3 days in July equals 6 total days. $30 a day times 6 days equals $180. Now try to do the next one on your own. You can pause this video and do your work on a separate sheet of paper and press play when you are finished. Did you come up with $360? So now that we have a plan for earning money, what are we going to do with that money? Well, 2 options. You can either save it or you can spend it. It's always a good idea to have a savings plan already created before you earn money. And if you use SMART goals to help create your plan, it will be easy and fun. Now remember this word SMART. We're going to come back to this later. When you look at spending money, there are 2 things that you can spend it on. You can spend it on needs or you can spend it on wants. Needs are things you must have to survive, like shelter, clothing, and food. On the other hand, wants are things that you would like to have, but certainly don't need them to survive. Examples would be candy, soda, video games, and even some types of clothing that might be more expensive than is necessary, like designer jeans and dresses and designer shirts, expensive shoes, and even some accessories. Spending is using your money to buy the things you want or need. However, it is better to first take care of your needs and then save money for your wants. Let's take a look at some examples of what might be considered a need or a want. Look at the list below and ask yourself, is this a need or is this a want? Pause the video while you look through this list and press play when you are finished. Is there anything on here that you thought was a need but wasn't? Can you think of any other examples of expenses you have that are needs? How about other things that you would consider wants? We'll talk about what to do about your wants here in just a second. Now let's take a look at some more examples of needs versus wants. Read each money situation below and answer the questions to decide whether the items are needs or wants, and use that information to help make the best buying decision. Please pause the video, work through situation A and situation B, and then press play when you are finished. Take a look at your work. Do your answers match mine? So far, we have seen examples of earning money as well as the difference between spending on needs versus wants. But what do we do if we don't have enough money to do either? That's where saving comes in. Saving is putting money away for future use. In order to have a plan to save as much money as we will need, we need to set a SMART goal for ourselves. Now, SMART goals aren't just intelligent, They are also specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Let's look at each one of these again. A goal that is specific will tell you exactly what it is that you want to save for. Instead of saying, I just want to save money, you might say, I want to save for a new pair of shoes. Now you know exactly what you're saving for. A goal should also have some kind of measurement, so you know when you have reached it. How much are the shoes? If they are $50, then that is how you know when you have reached your goal. An attainable goal is one that you know you can reach. I mean, it can be challenging, it might even be hard, but it certainly is doable. Instead of saying, I want to save $5,000 for 100 pairs of shoes, that might be a little too big, but we can certainly save $50 for one pair of shoes. The goal also must be relevant. Think about, why is this goal important to you? If a goal is going to be challenging or tough, then you'll be more likely to see it through if it is for something that is relevant and meaningful to you. And lastly, a good goal will have some kind of time attached to it. SMART goals are written so that you know when they start and when they need to be finished. Let's take a look at an example. I would like to buy shoes. Now, shoes are specific. By August 1st of this year, now this gives us the ending of when we need to meet our goal. Because the shoes I have now are too small, this tells us that it is a need and it's relevant to us. It is important to have good shoes that fit. My new shoes will cost $20. This is our measure that we will use to know when we have reached our goal. I must save $5 per month if I start a savings plan in April. Again, here we can see that we have given ourselves the exact time frame for our savings plan. We're going to start in April and we need to end by August 1st. Now, is this goal attainable? Absolutely. And is it relevant to us? You bet. So this goal has all of the necessary parts. Now, when writing your goals, it's important to determine, is this a short-term goal or a long-term goal? The example we just did is an example of a short-term goal, a goal that can be achieved over a few weeks or months. But sometimes we need a longer time in order to save enough money to meet our goal. This makes it a long-term goal, which typically lasts for a year or longer. Another important part to remember when starting a savings plan, as well as writing goals, is to visualize what it is that you're saving for. Here's an activity you can do every time you need to put together a savings plan. First, draw a picture of what it is that you're saving for. Give yourself a good mental image that you can go back to during your short-term or long-term time frame. Also, write down how much money you need to save in order to accomplish this goal. All of this can be a good reminder of why you're challenging yourself to save the money that you need. Go ahead and pause the video, complete the rest of this page on your own. Make a savings plan, visualize the important parts, and then create a SMART goal that is specific and measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Now, don't forget, a very important part of your savings plan is to consider where you're going to put the money that you save. A couple of examples include, you could save it in a piggy bank. You could give it to a trusted adult and have them hold it onto it for you. You could also open an account with First National Bank of Omaha, as well as a college savings account. Now, depending on your specific needs, you might choose a checking account or a savings account. Both are very similar, however, they have some key differences. If you are planning to save over a longer time period, you may want to consider a savings account that pays interest, which means they will pay you a small percentage as long as you keep your money with them. Typically, checking accounts are used for shorter term needs, like smaller, more everyday transactions, and they may not pay interest. Regardless if you choose a piggy bank or a trusted adult for your savings plan now, you will probably need a checking or savings account at some point. Now, some of the main reasons for wanting a checking or savings account include the safety and security they provide, as your money with the bank is insured. For example, if the bank were to get robbed, your money is insured by the federal government, and you can make a claim to get your money back. Also, Some accounts will pay interest, so you can actually earn money by just simply saving money in your account. These types of accounts can also provide a convenient way to make purchases. They also provide a way to develop a relationship with a financial institution. And bank accounts provide you important protection. For example, if your debit card is lost or stolen, the bank will work with you to make sure that not only do you get a new card, but they can help take care of unauthorized charges to your account that were made by someone else. Now let's go back through some important terms we talked about during this video. So please take a moment and pause the video and match the words from this lesson with their definitions. Once you are finished, press play again to see your answers. Congratulations! You've learned a lot about earning and saving your money. We've talked about ways that you can earn money. We've talked about the importance of understanding what a need is versus a want. We've talked about putting together a smart savings plan that includes a SMART goal that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And we've talked about the main reasons for opening a checking or savings account. And now you have what it takes to be a smart saver. I hope you can start practicing these skills we've learned today. And from everyone at FNBO, thanks for watching.